Have you ever been watch shopping and narrowed it down to two that you really like, but you can only walk out of there with one this trip, and you pick one, and maybe later on down the line, whether it be the next day, the next week, the next whatever, you really wish you'd have picked the other one? Zach, I think that's happened to every human person that has collected watches, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen it a tremendous amount as an AD locally here at your Reed shop. But tell me a little story personally about it, if you ever ran into it yourself.
I have. So in 2021, we started carrying Grand Seiko at our Huntsville location.
Okay.
And I was really excited about it. I specifically remembered a watch. It was the Rikka, the SBGH 271, that I had seen about a year before at an authorized dealer in Nashville. And I really liked that watch. Made a point of taking pictures of it. And I was just like, oh, that's a really cool piece. But, you know, working in this industry now, it's like, well, I can't imagine paying retail for it. So when I finally got the opportunity to, you know, add that watch and not have to pay, you know, quite full retail for it, that was the one that I went for. And while I still enjoy it, I get a lot of compliments, it's a watch that for whatever reason, I just don't really feel it here. And, you know, if you're spending decent money on a watch, you kind of want to feel that emotional
For sure.
connection. You want to be like, man, I got that. And, you know, 3 weeks ago I added an Oris that was, you know, fairly inexpensive to my collection. And I'm still extremely excited about that watch and in love with it. So what would I have done instead? They came out with a watch that was called the Ryusendo, and it was this beautiful turquoise dial, but really, really gorgeous watch. And I could have bought that watch. We had one that was around and didn't quite sell immediately. I want to say they made maybe 400, and that was it. So I adored that watch. It was a little bit slimmer, manual wind, and it was just a dressy watch. And being in suits most of the time, it really would have fit well. So, you know, that would be my one where, hey, maybe I wish I had gone a different direction. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, a watch comes to mind when thinking about this. I had previously bought, probably 20 years prior, 15 years prior, I had bought a nice mechanical watch to hit a milestone in my career, and then I really had not paid that much attention to watches for that time frame after that. I picked up one or two, but it just wasn't a big thing. And last year I decided, okay, I really want another nice watch. I was having memories of a Breitling that I had owned before that I no longer owned. I had gifted it to someone, and really always, I don't want to say regret it. I mean, never regret when you give something away, but I always missed it. That's probably the better word. And so I went into the Reeds, which is the day I met you, and started looking again. And I was looking at a couple different companies, but in my heart I knew I really wanted a Breitling, kind of to itch the miss of the one. And so I think maybe the second time I came in, my wife Jennifer had come with me, and we kind of settled on a beautiful watch, and that's the Superocean Automatic 44. We got it in the bronze with blue. And it's a beautiful watch. I love it a lot. It actually matched our high school colors was the thing. I don't know if we told you that or not, but that was kind of a draw to it as well. And I wear a lot of blue, so it fit great. It still is probably the best feeling watch when I wear it of any watch that I own. I really like that setup, that size, that band, everything about it. It was limited to 500, so that was a plus. So what's the thing about the watch that played out and as time went by? Two things come to mind really, and this is one is just totally personal preference, and I'm never going to preach one way or another about it. Sometimes movement matters, sometimes movement doesn't matter. In-house, you know, some people could argue that buying these mass production calibers are actually better because they're proven, and you know, obviously if it works in 6 million watches, it's going to work in yours, you know, and then there's an argument for that. But you know, in my mind, I've got this kind of platform where if it's over $5,000 or maybe even $4,000, my brain kicks in and says, hey, try to get an in-house movement. not saying that's right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just my feelings, right? The second one is the little bit bigger issue. The bronze, if I had it to do over, I love the patina. I love the idea that's my watch. One day when one of my sons gets that watch, they will get to enjoy that was Dad's patina on there. However, the case back is also bronze. Yep. And that's the Achilles heel, in my opinion, in that particular watch. Boy, I would give anything if that was stainless steel, because it does mark my skin. You hear some people say that it doesn't mark their skin, and that's fine, but it definitely marks mine. So the problem with that is I'm always subconscious if I have that watch on, and I wear my watches loose. I don't like them tight at all. And so if it slides over a little bit here, a little bit there, you can see it, or Lord forbid, when you take the watch off and you've got a green circle on your arm, it's a little annoying, to be honest with you. So what would I do different? I think if I was there right now in that moment of time, I had a price limit in my head. I did not want to go over. This was my first watch of any consequence that I had bought in years, and I didn't really want to break the $7,000 mark for whatever reason. I don't know. I just pulled it out of the air. I wish I would have, and I wish I'd have got a Navitimer.
Okay.
I really do. I would have scratched the itch of Breitling, and I would have got a watch that I have admired for 25 years, right?
So what size and what color?
I don't know. I like the white dial, I think. I think a 42 white dial was what I probably would pick.
So you'd have a 41 or a 43 as an option, at least in the modern assortments.
Okay, so I was looking at them recently, and I was looking at vintage ones. I could be wrong. I thought it was a 42. So I would go 43 then in that case. Okay. Larger watches don't bother me at all. I mean, huge watches do, but 43 and under I'm fine with. I love the Navitimer. I really think that's just one of the prettiest watch designs that have been out there. Well, we would love to hear in the comments your story. I think everybody that collects watches has a story very similar to Zach's or mine, or maybe completely different. And we would love to hear about it. We really would. So we'd love for you to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell us in the comments your story. We'll definitely get back to you. We really will. We want to read each comment and respond right away. So thank y'all for watching, and we'll talk to y'all soon.